A blockbuster trade proposal could transform the Boston Celtics. The rumors are swirling. Is the Boston Celtics, one of the powerhouses of this season, on the verge of making a bold move to strengthen its roster ahead of the NBA trade deadline? While many believe the team is comfortable with its solid core, some experts suggest that a key addition in the frontcourt could be the necessary edge to secure the title. But who could that be? And then the name arises: Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz. The idea, proposed by Eddie Bitar of Fadeaway World, suggests that the Celtics acquire Kessler in exchange for Jaden Springer and a first-round pick in 2030. Sounds simple, but the scenario is more complicated than it seems. The new CBA drastically limits trade options for teams like the Boston Celtics, who are near the second apron financially. This means the team can only offer one player in a trade, unless they fall below that threshold, something unlikely. In this context, Kessler stands out as a strategic choice, one of the NBA's best defenders, with an extremely budget-friendly contract. But are the Celtics willing to pay the price? Kessler's impact on the team. Walker Kessler is not just another center. His ability to anchor the defense and dominate pick-and-roll situations would make him a perfect complement to stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Additionally, with Nick Al Horford nearing 38 years old, the need for coverage in the frontcourt is evident. But here's the tension. The Utah Jazz values Kessler highly. Sources indicate that a single first-round pick might not be enough. Would the Celtics give more? Would they be willing to sacrifice 2 first-round picks to acquire the defender? Is Kessler not good enough for the Celtics right now? Many fans believe that Kessler would be the perfect piece for the Celtics, but is he really ready to take on a leading role in a team with championship aspirations? Despite his defensive talent, Kessler is young and still needs to develop in high-pressure situations, especially in the playoffs. The Celtics don't need another promising defender. They need a center who is already at their peak. Players like Miles Turner or even Jakob Poeltl might offer a more immediate and reliable solution. Betting on Kessler now could be risky, considering the team's current stage. Developing a young talent might be a luxury when the championship window is wide open. Is trading draft picks now a betrayal? While many see trading future picks as a necessary move to secure the present, others argue that it could seriously jeopardize the team's future. Imagine a rebuild without valuable draft picks because they were traded for Kessler. The Celtics are already at the top, but staying there requires careful planning. If Tatum or Brown were to suffer injuries in the future, how would the team rebuild without draft picks? Furthermore, blindly trusting that a young player like Kessler will be the definitive solution in the frontcourt ignores the fact that he has yet to prove he can consistently impact games. Does Jaden Springer have more potential than Kessler? While most see Springer as just another name in the package, few consider that he might have a higher ceiling than Kessler. Springer is an athletic young guard who, in the right environment, with skilled coaching, could become an underestimated offensive and defensive weapon. Letting go of Springer now might be a strategic mistake. Defensive centers like Kessler can often be found more easily in the market or draft than versatile and dynamic guards. Moreover, with the NBA's shift towards perimeter-based play, players like Springer could have a greater future impact than traditional centers. The Celtics shouldn't make any trades. It seems obvious that improving the roster always helps, but could tinkering with the chemistry of such a well-connected team backfire? Sometimes an addition can destabilize a delicate balance. The Celtics have a solid rotation and a system that works. Adding a new player, especially someone like Kessler, who might need time to adjust, could harm the team's synergy. Remember the Brooklyn Nets in 2021? Adding more talent on paper didn't guarantee success on the court. Keeping the core intact might be the key to winning the title. Jimmy Butler on the Celtics. Is it already a reality? Would the Boston Celtics be willing to part ways with Jaylen Brown for Jimmy Butler? This question has sent chills through fans and experts alike. A trade of this magnitude could completely shift the balance of power in the NBA, but the doubt persists. Is this a smart move or a strategic error that could cost the franchise dearly in the future? Is Jaylen Brown overrated? This opinion might shock many Celtics fans, but some believe that Jaylen Brown isn't living up to his massive contract. While his averages are solid, his ball handling and inconsistency in clutch moments raise concerns. Butler, on the other hand, is renowned for stepping up in the playoffs, something Brown has yet to demonstrate consistently. Jimmy Butler is a born leader. Even with his advanced age, his ability to deliver in crucial moments surpasses what Brown has shown so far. The Celtics need a player who can turn potential into results. The trade would bring Boston emotional leadership and playoff experience that they lack in Brown. The defensive impact and youth of Brown offer a higher ceiling in the long term. However, the injury risk and physical decline of Butler make this trade dangerous for the Celtics' future. Jimmy Butler would be a disaster in the Celtics' locker room. While Butler is known for his intensity, many forget the issues he caused in the locker rooms of teams like Minnesota and Philadelphia. His strong personality and brutal approach could create friction in a roster that already has established leaders like Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart. Adding Butler to an already cohesive environment might have the opposite effect of what is expected. He could challenge Tatum's leadership, creating internal divisions. Butler's history shows that he demands a lot from his teammates, and not everyone responds well to that. It would be an unnecessary risk for a team that already has established chemistry. However, this same behavior is what made Butler such a respected player in Miami, where he led an unlikely group to the NBA Finals. His mentality might be the missing piece the Celtics need to win a title. Are the Celtics underestimating the financial impact of this trade? The trade might seem simple on paper, but the long-term financial impact is a ticking time bomb. While Brown is at the beginning of a long contract, Butler would be close to renegotiating his next contract, possibly seeking figures that don't align with his future performance. Keeping Brown, despite being expensive, guarantees financial and sporting stability. He is still growing as a player, while Butler will probably be in decline when it's time to renew. This trade could limit the Celtics' flexibility in the future, damaging the construction of a competitive roster. The Celtics' focus should be on winning now. Planning too far ahead might cause them to miss the current window of opportunity to win a title. Would trading Brown for Butler be admitting failure? If the Celtics decide to trade Brown, it could be seen as a sign that the franchise failed to develop its young core. It would be a step back after years of building around Tatum and Brown. As the team's cornerstones, the Celtics have invested years in building the Tatum-Brown duo. Trading one of them would be like admitting that the franchise's planning was flawed. Additionally, sending Brown to Miami, a direct rival in the East, might strengthen a competitor instead of weakening it. Sometimes, recognizing a mistake early is the best solution. Perhaps the Tatum-Brown core doesn't have enough chemistry to win a title, and adding Butler could be the necessary correction. My opinion, the trade of Jaylen Brown for Jimmy Butler is a high-risk, low-reward move for the Celtics. While Butler is a spectacular player, his profile doesn't fit the current context of the team. Brown still has room to grow and become a fundamental piece in a championship-winning team. Tampering with this core now would be premature, but the question remains, is the Boston Celtics willing to sacrifice the future for a bet on the present?